If you took $100, my friend, and put it in your drawer and left it in the drawer for several years, you would open the drawer again and find it had become $50, from $100 to $50. This is 100% true. This is exactly the idea of inflation. The idea, not the cause. If you want me to explain the idea of inflation to you, write to me in the comments. But what I want you to understand is that inflation is very dangerous. Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, says, for example, $100 today will buy you a box of chicken, but after a few years, you will open the drawer and find $50 that will not buy you a box of chicken. Not because the price of chicken has risen. The dangerous point here is because the strength of the currency has fallen. Please correct this idea. Prices do not rise. The currency is what weakens and falls. Grant Cardone, the billionaire real estate billionaire who became a billionaire before the advent of something called online courses, because some people know about him. There is a rumor that he has millions of online courses. No, my friend, the man has been a billionaire since 2000, before the advent of something called social media and before the advent of online courses. Grant Cardone always says that the value of cash goes to zero after a few years of storage. And indeed, this is inflation. Once you know it, you discover that it is okay, prices have nothing to do with it, as long as there is a currency being printed. If its value decreases, its purchasing power weakens. 100 today will be 50 in 5 years. So you begin to understand why the rich are not affected much by inflation, and they have no problem with prices increasing, as we call it, because they know the rules of the game. Prices do not increase, the currency weakens. So how do you keep 100 reals for years without losing weight? In this video, I am here to tell you. I didn't want to chatter on with you and explain inflation in detail, how it started, the financial system, and other such things. No, I came to give you the gist of the matter until I came. Let me give you examples from real life of people who were poor, became rich, and then went back to being poor. First, Mike Tyson went from a fortune of more than 300 to 400 million to zero, my friend with a debtor, from millionaire to debtor. Ronaldinho, Adriano, Diego, Armando Maradona, 50 Cent in the world of singing, and many, many others, my friend, who had huge sums of money and lost it and became poor again. And some of them are in debt. Ronaldinho, the creep, was imprisoned because his passport was forged and he didn't have the bail money to get out. It was a trivial amount, but where is Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho, whom Nike used to sell editions of, may God bless you, a sports shoe with his name on it. Every year a new edition comes out and people run around, wondering who can buy it. One of my followers came out on YouTube and said that the reason they lost their wealth was because they got it quickly and lost it quickly. No, sir, no, based on the principle of easy. If you don't work hard for the money and struggle to get it, you won't feel its value, so you'll leave it. There's some truth to this talk, but it's not the real reason.
We have the legendary icon Michael Jordan. His first deal was with Nike, and in his first year in the NBA, he received $2.5 million, a 5-year contract, his first year in the NBA. And with this contract he built a fortune that could hardly be reached, and today he is still one of the richest people in the world. Why? Easy, go. Right, wrong, my friend, wrong. The reason they lost their wealth is that they do not know the laws of money. They did not get this wealth because they knew the rules of the money game, but they got it because they were in the peak period of their lives and were famous for a certain craft, hobby, or profession and were paid very high wages for it. The value, hobby, skill, or profession is gone, so they no longer have income or wages to receive for this thing. Come on, my dear Mike Tyson, teach us, after you lost your boxing skill, how can you make these hands of yours bring in millions just as they used to do before? How will you be able to make your hands, which have become weaker than before and slower than before, bring you millions just as they used to do in your prime in boxing, my friend? My friend, you have to understand that money has laws. One of the laws of money is inflation, 100 becomes 50. Another law of money is investment, 50 becomes 100. You see where people are going and where the rich are going. People, on the path of inflation, make 100 become 50. The rich, on the path of investment, make 50 100. That is why they are not affected by inflation and do not get upset about prices. They understand the rules of the game. Michael Jordan, unlike these celebrities, benefited from his peak period. This is the advice I want to give you. In the moments when he was earning the highest salary, he thought and saw the future beforehand and began to build wealth for the future. He had fabulous sources of income without using his hands to play basketball. And all of us, my friend, are like Michael Jordan. We are not basketball artists, nor are we rich, of course, but we all go through peak periods. At a certain period in your life, it is considered the financial peak in which you receive the highest possible income you have never received in your life before. It is what you must use to build future incomes. You will not receive this salary your entire life, or at least the salary you receive today, which is considered huge and, God willing, a lot. But 5 years, 10 years, may not provide you with a living. You have to keep this point in mind. Personally, this issue happened to me. By God, guys, I just got a job. I have no obligations. I have nothing. I just decided to buy a Lexus. Wow, I want to dress up like Mike Tyson did in his heyday. He used to buy tigers and buy a golden bathtub that cost I don't know how many million, and he bought empty junk like me, a Lexus. There are reasons that made me buy the Lexus in particular, even though I am not convinced that I am buying an expensive car, but I kept it decent. There was a closet, and I took it out. I bought the Lexus from here, my friend. The year after inflation happened suddenly, I am in a rented house. We were living in my grandfather's house. My grandfather died, they distributed the inheritance, they sold the house. I am renting, and no one is employed except me and my brother. Come on, get motivated, you are men. I pay rent, I pay household expenses, I pay the electricity bill, I pay the water bill. Inflation in return. What we used to buy for 5, we now buy for 15. Before there was a tax, there was a tax. Inflation affected the prices of oil. First, you would fill up with 50, now you fill up with 70 and 100. These are the rules of life, so you don't think I'm complaining. No, on the contrary, I blame myself for not knowing the rules of the game. Before that time, I used to read, but I never read anything about money, and I wasn't convinced that I was reading about money. Imagine, so you know the kindness of the Lord of the worlds, glory be to him, God is the guide. Yes, by God, God is the guide. Within a few months, I was no longer able to buy coffee from Starbucks. I can't. Who is to blame here? The global financial law applies to all people, and all people benefit from this financial system, even though they curse it, but it is what sustains and feeds them. But the negative people do not understand this. They say the financial system is unjust. No, it is not unjust. The financial system has existed since humanity began, not humanity since the beginning of something called man. There was a financial system and it developed with time, and there were positive aspects for some people and negative aspects for other people, and vice versa, positive for these and negative for those. The financial system is global and historical. Humanity has been following it for a long time. Who is to blame the financial system? Nor am I, and my ignorance of money is normal. I spent half of my 20s not thinking about the future, nor thinking about money, nor thinking about investing. I tried to remedy the situation. At the age of 25, I took a deep breath and started to learn the rules of the game little by little. My friend, what you have to do is look to the future and think about financial inflation, and that your salary today, which is enough for you, will not be enough for you tomorrow. If your salary today is not enough for you, it means that you will die tomorrow. The laws of money are very beautiful, even if you do not have a single dollar, nor a job, nor a salary. You can get money from nothing, and I promise you a powerful, deadly episode in which I will give you an example from real life. A billionaire was stripped of his name and money, and everything was taken from him and thrown in a village. They told him to build a project with a market value of $1 million, and he had nothing but a mobile phone, car, and $100. I will detail an 8-hour episode on YouTube for you and teach you how, in just 13 days, he had $11,500 in his pocket. Because he knows the rules of the game. What do you want to take from me? My money, you took my famous name, take them. There is something you cannot take. My financial intelligence knows how to see the opportunity. I know how to get money out of nothing and stuff. So I advise you to develop your financial intelligence so that you understand how to build a project without capital or understand how to invest. You enter 10 and get 15 and 20. In order to become an investor, you must be one of the most financially intelligent people. If you do not want to raise your financial intelligence, stick to real estate investment funds, financing funds, or private equity funds. You do not have this method without raising your financial intelligence. Michael Jordan did not become rich because he was financially smart. He understood it and said, I am not financially smart. He said to Nike, can you help me? They created a brand for me and built this brand for me and did it and completed it and did everything in it. Of course, he gave them a percentage and took a percentage himself. Today, he is one of the richest people in the world. So please think about the future and take advantage of this peak period, this financial peak. Let it benefit you in the future. Accept this advice from the heart, because what helps you today will not feed you tomorrow. Today, my friend, thank God, my awareness has increased a little. I have not yet reached financial intelligence at all. In fact, up until now, I do not know how to see opportunities. I need to read more, learn more, try more, and lose more until I know the right methods. Grant Cardone was once advising his young daughter. He was telling her, be careful not to keep cash with you. He told her, I might die and you will inherit all of this. Don't keep it as cash. The cash will dwindle. They will steal from us. You will spend it easily. You have cash. Buy assets with it, buy real estate with it. Real assets that you can see with your own eyes. No one can steal them from you. They might steal 1 million, 2, 3 million, but they won't be able to steal a house from you. You need to read, learn, try, skip and learn from your mistakes. Listen, the smart one is the one who learns from his mistakes and the wise one is the one who learns from the mistakes of others. Go search for the mistakes of others, my friend. You will find their stories on YouTube, you will find their stories in books, you will find their stories presented as lectures. Go learn. That is why I loved the episode made by Grant Cardone. They stripped him of his money and name and put him in a village. They told him, come on, build a project from scratch and reach a value of $1 million within 3 months. He said, I have a plan. The first thing I do is open a bank account with $100. No one will respect me if I do not have a bank account. The second thing I do is go to the club. He said, yes, I go to the club and train. He says the photographers and producers of the program laugh at me. They say I am crazy. I mean, the first thing you think about is how to maintain your bump. Think about how to make money. Think about how to find a place to sleep and eat in. He says they don't understand. They don't know the rules of the game. I go to the club, I talk to people, and the people in the club will teach me everything about this village. They will teach me the cheapest place to live. They will teach me the names of the rich people and who the businessmen are, and they will direct me to them. So I go to the club and I go looking for the club that will give me a trial for a day or 2 or 3 days for free so that I don't pay anything. And he says he set a goal for me that within 10 days I will collect 100 names. I have to get to know 10 people a day, and within 10 days I will have 100 people here, and there. He says because it is impossible for you to build a fortune on your own.
Financial intelligence is important, and thinking mechanisms are important. Listen to me, listen to me. I will tell you something with which I will conclude this section. Everything made by man begins with an idea. Whoever earns $10 million, you see, started with an idea and a group of ideas that led him to 10 million. Whoever spends or loses $10 million started losing it with an idea and a group of ideas that accumulated and caused him to lose this wealth. You must understand this law in life. The idea creates a habit. The habit creates a personality or identity. The identity creates a destiny, a law. Keep this in mind. Do you want to develop your financial intelligence or your intelligence in any field? Read, and God is the most generous. Start now. Do not underestimate $100 or $500 in investing $500 until you reach $1,000 and so on. Remember, currency loses its value, prices do not rise. If your salary is enough today, if it does not grow as required with inflation, it will not be enough to feed you tomorrow. And keep in mind that today you are alone. Tomorrow you will be married and then have children. Later you will have a house, responsibilities and obligations other than inflation. Please think about the future. I hope this episode was helpful to you, my friend, and it might help other people. Share it with them, and I will see you next week for a better and more beautiful clip. Thank you for listening, and always thank you for your priceless time.